All right, let's talk about Pi Network. One of the absolute biggest communities in Web3? Well, they've just dropped a brand new roadmap. And get this, it's not just some minor update. No, this is a direct challenge to how pretty much the entire crypto world works. So let's dive in and break down what this major shift in strategy is all about. Okay, so this quote you're seeing, this is pretty much the core of Pi Network's entire new vision. It comes straight from a keynote by co-founder Dr. Cheng Fan at the massive Token 2049 conference. And that single phrase, from liquidity to utility, that signals a huge break from the way things are usually done in crypto. So you might be wondering, why make this big announcement at Token 2049 of all places? Well, it's simple. That's where the biggest players in crypto show up and make their moves. For Pi Network, this was like planting a flag. It was a clear, loud statement of intent, not just to their own huge community, but to the entire industry. So what this all boils down to is a whole new vision for crypto. At its heart, this roadmap is really a fundamental rethink of what crypto should even be for. It's a direct challenge to the way things have been done for years. Now, to really get what they're doing, we've got to step back and ask a really big question. It's something people in the industry have been debating forever. What is the biggest thing holding crypto back from really going mainstream? And for a lot of folks, this is the answer. The crypto world, let's be honest, has been kind of obsessed with speculation, right? All about those quick profits, not so much about building actual tools that people can use in their everyday lives. Pi Network is basically saying that is the core problem that absolutely needs to be fixed. So what's their solution? Well, it's actually hiding in plain sight right there in that keynote title. They're proposing this really deliberate shift away from a world obsessed with liquidity, how easy it is to buy and sell, and moving towards a world focused on actual, real-world utility. Let's actually look at these two philosophies side by side, because it makes it super clear. Over here, you've got the old way, all about speculation, trading, and what the price is doing today. But on the other side, you have Pi Network's vision. It's all about building apps and services that people can actually use, and using that to drive global adoption, not just to pump up the trading volume. But here's the thing. This isn't just some theory they cooked up overnight. Pi Network is saying they've spent years building the foundation for this utility-first world, and it all started with their community. And just look at the scale of that foundation. We're talking over 60 million engaged users. They call them pioneers. To put that in perspective, that makes it one of the absolute largest communities in the entire Web3 space. That's massive. Yeah, a number that big doesn't just happen overnight. This has been a long game. It's a result of a very deliberate 6-year journey that kicked off with a simple mobile app way back in 2019. The strategy was always clear. Build the community first. And now it looks like they're finally ready for that next major milestone. Okay, so how do you even manage a community this huge? Well, a really crucial piece of that puzzle is something they call a native KYC solution. KYC just stands for Know Your Customer, and it's basically how you prove that all those users are actual, real people. The fact that they built their own tool for this is a big deal. It's all about making it globally accessible and keeping the network secure, which is, absolutely vital if you want to build real-world apps. So after 6 years of building this massive, verified community, what's next? Well, here it is, the biggest milestone yet, the launch of their open network. And they're aiming for 2025. Right, so that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What does open network actually mean? What does it change for those 60 million users? And for that matter, for the rest of the crypto world? To put it really simply, it's the moment the walls come down. Think about it. Up until now, Pi has been operating in what's called an enclosed network. It's basically its own little self-contained world, totally isolated from everything else. The open network launch is the moment it finally connects to other blockchains and plugs into the rest of the Web3 universe. Let's break that down into 3